Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks so much for joining both myself and Leo, Leo the engineer, as you'll come to see in this new live stream that we're going to maybe put out every now and again. We'll see how today goes, but we want to be as transparent as possible and actually show you all of the awesome work that's been going into the Cat Cartel game and give you kind of a sneak peek of how Leo and I would normally just like jump in our morning meetings on Monday and talk through the game, the mock-ups, make decisions, and kind of everything in between, so you can kind of get a sense of where we're taking the game. And we'll also be doing a bit more of, community questions. So if we're working through something today and, we're curious about how we should, build this feature of the game or whatever, or literally gonna, ask you to chime in the live chat. We might take some live Q&A questions, later on in the stream. We'll see how it goes. Most importantly, we're just trying to actually strategize and build so we can form the roadmap of the game. Now, before we jump in, Leo's awesome. Leo and I have been working together on various projects for almost over a year now. He is a true dev, a true engineer. But anyways, you'll see in just a second. So let me just switch over the screen and here we are. Leo, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I'm good. Have you shared the Figma right now for everyone to see?
No, let's just jump into the Figma right now, and we can kind of talk through some of the new stuff.
Yeah, and sorry in advance for everyone if I'm talking a bit fast. That's kind of how I talk, but hopefully you can kind of follow along what I'm saying. But I will try to slow down today.
No, it's all good, man. We're just gonna do what we do. That's gonna be the beauty of this whole kind of stream. First, just because I just received these, I want to show you the thing that we can talk through for our like tap to earn scammer. Which, dude, it looked really good when you did that last screen recording. The one thing I wanted to chat with you about is, so it'd be really cool to show, basically as you're kind of tapping on or punching the scammer to earn your daily points, we can basically show like the scammer, like when he's at 100% of the daily limit, and then as you basically punch him, he gets kind of beat up, right? So
Yeah,
so it's like, as some certain percentage of like your tapping kind of goes, he kind of gets more and more beat up. How do you think we should structure that in terms of like, I don't know, the dynamics, right? Like, should we do it on a percentage, or how do you think we should implement this?
yeah, I would probably just set it in as a percentage. So kind of like after people are pressed a certain percentage of the daily limit. So now we have 5 images. So it would be just 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 transitions. So first image, this would be between 0 and 20%. This would be between 20 and 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, and then 80 to 100. This one. But also we would need some sort of kind of indication of kind of that you hit scammer, because currently I've just kind of done kind of like a dummy animation for indicating that someone clicked, just kind of making it smaller than bigger. But to make it more engaging, we could make so he kind of come back. Oh fuck! I just draw it there. We could make so he becomes kind of red, or some sound effect also indicating that we hit him, instead of just having him being, because currently if we set it up just images like this, it would currently be like static. Then after you go over a percentage, it will just kind of instantly change into one of these images, which could look a bit weird. It will be kind of like that, but then if we have like sound effect where for each click, and some sort of kind of red, kind of how you do damage in normal games on a normal boss in kind of a fight scene, kind of have how we do damage on the bosses in the actual fight scenes or in the game. And so kind of when the boss goes kind of red, then you can see kind of, oh shit, he took damage. So we could do something like that but for the face as well, and not just do the transition. But what are your thoughts?
Let's do that. I think that's a great idea. We might even be able to like have Ziad do. Ziad's our illustrator, everyone, and he's awesome. He's been doing all the artwork for all the Cat Cartel stuff, all this stuff. He's been amazing. but one thing that we can do is if we wanted to have either like it go red or like get a little smaller, or we can have kind of an in-between graphic, maybe. That could be another idea. So as you're tapping it, kind of like just changes. Maybe he's like wincing or something. We can also just keep it simple. But I do really like the idea of like some sort of like punch or like some sort of sound effect as you're tapping the screen.
Yeah. I was also following kind of a sound effect from the boss himself, like ooh, or I don't know how he would sound, but.
Right. Here's one other thing that I want to quickly talk through, just since we're talking about this portion and you've already built some of it out. So in a lot of the tap to earn sort of games, basically how it works is you have your daily limit, which right now we're thinking about setting it to like, 50,000 Cat Cartel coins that you can come back daily and earn. But then essentially, like as you basically like tap and exhaust your limit, your coins then slowly start to kind of regenerate, so that if I come back, say an hour later, then you have whatever an hour divided by the total daily limit to be able to like tap again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But we don't need to have like a daily limit then, and then just as you said, kind of have the daily limit divided by the number of hours. We could instead just have like coins per second regeneration. We say that like 0.25 or something, and then we can just make so we don't need to make some math with like daily limits divided by hours. We could just make so it has a specific speed that it restores, but then we have a maximum capacity of the daily limit. And also, I think we should lower the limit, because 50,000. Then if people just use the daily limit like once for 20 days, they would be able to unlock, like, I think it's the second, the Glock, which is kind of a really overpowered weapon.
Right.
And also be able to like the chain whip without it, because then defeating bosses will be so kind of not redundant. That would be the fun part, but in terms of like coins, that would be kind of redundant instead of clicking, because one fight, what we have now for airdrop and for the first difficulty, and we have set it to make, I think, 10 or 20,000, and then over here on the click, just kind of clicking for 10 minutes, then you have kind of gotten equally as many Cat Cartel coins as you would for like free fights. That's really difficult, because the fights are really difficult, at least when I try to play our demo. I would probably need to adjust the difficulty, but kind of the click shouldn't be that, so you get more points from clicking like 20 minutes than 20 minutes of fighting and winning would equivalent. So we should either increase the rewards for winning fights, or just kind of decrease that daily limit to like 10,000.
Got it.
We could have 50,000, but then we need to kind of increase the fights as well, the fighting rewards. But then people would be able to unlock like all the weapons really quickly, which might not be that fun.
Well, I hear
because
what you're saying.
If you can unlock a weapon, kind of you being one in a few that actually have unlocked it, then just having kind of everyone that just played like 2 hours of the game be able to unlock every weapon. So
got it.
I think kind of
Then I say, if we're gonna like, let's just say we drop this to like whatever, let's just say 10,000, right? I think then what we need to do is we actually need then to adjust these, right? Because we don't want it to like be someone to rip through 10,000 really fast, right? We actually want them to like spend some time here. So I don't know, 10,000 divided by 50. I'm not sure how many taps that is, but like we can work that out.
Current calculating. So like how many taps per second? Like 3 is that kind of average speed? 4 or 5?
I don't know,
5.
dude. People can tap fast. Like that one tap game I was sharing with you. Like you can get really crazy on that thing, which is fun, right?
Yeah, I notice now that I have you up on the screen there, so I'm kind of looking away. So if you're kind of wondering why I'm kind of gazing away from the camera, that's just because I have you there and kind of the Figma here.
It's all good.
Okay, so let's say like a fast tap or like 5 taps. So like that would be 5. It's gonna see. So 10,000, 5 taps a second. That would be like 2,000 seconds of tapping if you get 1 each time. How long do you think this should take to get the kind of maximum limit?
I don't know, man.
10 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
To get the maximum limit? No, I mean, people should be able to come in this game and like spend a minute or two, right, of just like tap 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 to get to their
Oh, okay,
daily
okay,
limit of
okay,
coins, right? It should be
okay. So
fast.
okay, but let's say 5 minutes, just because the maximum limit. That if 2 minutes, you get at least like 50%.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 300 seconds, 2,000. So we have 2,000 total seconds divided by 300. So we should have a constant of about seven per click.
Okay.
That's I rounded up to from 6.7 to 7, but that should be about 5 clicks per second for 5 minutes. Then you should get the limit.
Okay.
It's a
Cool.
little under 5 minutes since I rounded up, but if you add it to be, uh,
We can also
7
test it
per
out
click.
too. Like
Yeah,
once you have it in the iOS, like a beta version, we can test it out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
quick shout out to Astra. What's up, man? Thanks for joining the chat. Yeah, this is not actually a Telegram game, only because like we've got it's a pretty robust game, and it's too robust for what Telegram currently allows. Telegram has like mostly simple tap games, whereas this has full gameplay animations. So it'll be on Google Play and iOS, Android. At least that's the way we're thinking about it right now. Good question, bro. All right, I feel pretty good about that. I can get these animations. Well, they're going to be in ClickUp so that we can get those things in. But I think once we can play with this, it'll be interesting to feel how how many taps it's going to take, and then we can modify the
Yeah,
numbers. So long as we
yeah.
keep like the numbers around, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Oh yeah. Then if you want it more round, then you can just add 10, because that's pretty close to 7, and then it will go back down to like 3 minutes. Yeah. I don't have to calculate that, but around like 3 minutes.
Right. Okay. Here, I'm just so we remember this. I'm going to go ahead and change this to 10, 1.
By the way, I saw that that Syed had put up, as we mentioned before last week, that he had added like a shield animation for airdrop Andy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you want? Yeah, I think we mentioned this kind of a week or two ago. But do you want me to kind of start on Rug Pull Rick, which is boss number 2, everybody, or should I kind of implement that shield, because that was not something that we originally intended to include in that boss, because we already added the the coin drop attack, where he kind of drops coins and you have kind of collect them, and you either get like 500 coins or 500 deducted from you. I already implemented that feature, by the way. But do you still want the shield feature where you can kind of shield himself,
Oh,
or do
dude.
you want kind
Um,
of to save
let's
some sort of attack for the next boss or another boss?
let's pause on the shield. Dude, I gotta see. You gotta do another a video recording of the coin drop. I really want to see that. That's gonna be really cool. And then let's not move on to Rug Pull Rick. Basically, I think the next steps are gonna be, let's get the little levels built in, and then let's do all of HODI's attacks. That's what I want to put on the next list for the animations, so that we have one complete level before we move on, so that we can basically see like, okay, if HODI's using the bat or the knife or the guns, like we get all those dialed in, and then we can move on to the next bosses and kind of rip through those really fast. Well, as fast as we can.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool. All right. Trim, what's up, man? Good to see you in the live chat. Yeah, we're all about being able to spend, a little bit of time in the game to like rip through these things and have some fun, and then jump out and back in. So yeah, that's why we're talking through it. All right, Leo, let's talk about this one. This one's kind of the one thing that I really want to work through. Which honestly gets, me excited about the future of the value of HODI, which, behooves us all to increase. But like, here's really where I kind of need your thoughts, and I would love for you to push on this and see like what makes sense, and what's gonna work within the game dynamics. So like, this is kind of how I'm thinking, right? Like, essentially, someone can come in here, they can connect their wallet through the SDK, which I mentioned, which we can look through a little bit, but we'll just stick to either Phantom and or Soulflare, like two of the most standard wallets.
Yeah.
and then we need some working mechanism so that they can basically, click here, purchase whatever, any of these sorts of, Cat Cartel coins with a certain number of HODI, and then get that, in their bank so that they can buy weapons, upgrade their character, and so on. What are your initial thoughts on some of this?
So Manisha, I actually saw this screen yesterday when I was working on the game, and I kind of thought, firstly, I think this is a great idea. I don't really know how much kind of 5,000 HODI cost. I could have looked it up, but how much do you think it costs? Like, I think what's the price for an HODI? Like $0.009 right now.
I mean, right now, and this is kind of the interesting thing is like, here, I'm just gonna bring up Google Chrome really quick. So if we look at, so let's just go to here.
Are you sharing your Chrome?
I'm sharing my Chrome, so you'd be able to see it in the live stream, but I'll just talk through it really quick.
Yeah.
So if we do like, I'm just doing like basically US money. So if I do like $5, at today's market cap of HODI, $5 is right around 6,000 coins. And I think our market cap is right around like 850,000 or 900,000, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Actually, let me just check really quick. But that's the thinking, right? It's like, here, where's HODI? HODI is at 860,000 at the moment. So that's kind of how I was thinking. Is like, we got $5 that we could pair to some number of coins, and people would want to buy coins early. But again, if that market cap then shoots to 10 million, 5,000 coins is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's actually really smart. I saw someone actually commenting that they haven't played a computer game. Just to clarify for everyone that joined recently, this will be a mobile game. So this will not be played on desktop. You might not have meant that, but just to kind of clarify. But you might see that on the screen as well, that it's kind of a mobile view. But exactly. I think we might increase the prices for HODI, because currently, if 25,000 HODI, what is that? $25, because you said 105,000 HODI for $5. So 25,000, that would be $25. So $25 for the fourth best weapon, the Glock. That's actually reasonable. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty good prices currently. Because then the most expensive weapon would be kind of $250, but I hope no one is paying to win this game. It's kind of fun if you buy HODI, but that's kind of a bit much. We'll see kind of on the leaderboard that we'll add in later, kind of who's earning the most, defeating the most bosses. So it's not just kind of pay to win.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I want to talk through that in a second. That was actually something I want to chat about, because it's the way that our point system works with the Cat Cartel coins, and then being able to purchase, it creates a little bit of an awkward experience. So I want to talk through that. But before we do that, what I'll do, and I think maybe what we can do is, once we get the Solana Unity SDK set up, we can test out some of these flows and just see how it works, like see what information we can display. I'm hoping you can connect your wallet and it'll just display your tokens. But we'll need to basically bridge in some sort of mechanism so that any purchase goes to like our game wallet or whatever, right? And then the coins get basically added to their account. So we'll have to work through a little bit of those dynamics, but I think this is where things get super interesting.
And also before you asked my kind of initial thoughts, I had another thought, but it kind of came back to me now. So another thought I had which would be pretty cool is, by the way, you can write in the YouTube live chat if you kind of what do you think about this idea, because this might just be kind of a little brainstorm for me. But for these kind of pay to get Cat Cartel coins, you see these offers here, that you can only unlock these offers, kind of better offers, when you defeat a certain boss. So this first offer would just be kind of initially, but then the second one would just be kind of medium level and airdrop Andy. Then this final offer, which is really good, 25,000 HODI, because if you have like 100,000 HODI, you'll be able to buy like 4 million instantly, which is not a lot right now.
Right.
But it's a lot in the game. So, but we don't just want people to kind of instantly come in and trade the Hoodie, because most people that will play this game will have Hoodie. So we don't want people to come in and not being able to, or kind of not needing to fight for progress. So it'd be more fun if you kind of needed to unlock these offers to kind of actually needing to defeat the bosses and be good at the game rather than just coming in and buying it instantly. So it would be cool if kind of this first would be airdrop and the medium level. This would be kind of rug pull Rick hard level, and this would be kind of pump. What is the name? Pump and dump Paul.
Pump and dump Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, medium or something like that. Because then the point of buying these offers would be to speed up the process of getting coins rather than being defeated. Because then you can either click every day to get the coins, which will take some time, or you can kind of speed up and save yourself time and buy the Hoodie. So then you still need to defeat the bosses, but you kind of speed up the process of collecting the coins and kind of unlocking the weapons. So then you would kind of skip the clicking parts and then instantly do this. So I thought it'd be cool if we had some kind of lock on the offers, except the first one, and then just kind of writing requires that you defeat rug pull Rick medium level or something like that.
Dude, I think that's a great idea, actually, because you're right. Like, someone that would want to come in and just like spend however much really fast, right, could easily just like grab a bunch of coins, pick up the AR-15 or whatever the weapon is, and like cruise through the game really fast. Oops. Shit,
exactly.
So hold on a second. Let's just do something like this. I'm just
because I know myself when I can playing some games myself. I'm not doing it anymore, but kind of when I was younger. I know that whenever there was a game that I found funny, and then I saw kind of friend that I kind of bought other things, I felt like I kind of struggled for this, and this guy just kind of skipped through just because he kind of wants to spend money. So I feel it could be nice to kind of. It's nice that you can spend Hoodie because that's really kind of related and connected to the game, which is really nice. But we don't want just let people that have a lot of Hoodie or kind of just let, because then the people that actually struggle and defeat the bosses will feel like, okay, this is some bullshit. These other guys just bought the AR-15 at once.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like with the game, we want to do our best to, I don't know, like not have people cheat it, because ultimately the way this thing succeeds and grows is if we can get people in and playing for, like creating a habit and like some sort of fun habit around it, right? So it's not just like a once or twice play, but it's something that like people want to come back to for a variety of reasons. So one of those reasons, and this is what I wanted to chat through as well, is the leaderboard. So this is where things get a little complex. And this is going to be a funny little shout out to some of the people in the community too.
Are you watching the kind of comments in X? Because I see kind of free in YouTube.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got a couple. I see a few. Alex, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, we got a few people in both X and YouTube. Shout out to the DGen boss. I see you in the chat too. He's one of the moderators on the team. But anyways, here's the one thing that gets a little complex, right? And this is what I would love to. Oh shit! I'm like bouncing around this thing like crazy. So one of the things that will help like get people back into the game regularly is the idea of a daily or weekly leaderboard, so that as people play the game and progress up through it, mind you, like these levels, like we talked about, we're not going to remove like the levels, so there's no like prestige, at least for like the version 1. But essentially, what?
No, keep going. I just had a point, but you can kind of, sorry for interrupting.
So essentially what we need to figure out is, one, of the leaderboards, there's going to be a certain number, whether it's like the top 5 or the top 10 or whatever we decide, they're going to actually earn HODI, right? So they have to connect their wallet, do all their things. And if they rank daily, they're going to be able to receive airdrops of HODI. Same thing for like the weekly. Where it becomes tricky, and maybe we need to rethink this a little bit, is, so say for example, like I've defeated the scammer bosses, I've done like punched the scammer to earn, and I've like gathered all these coins, one, I can spend them, right? I can spend them to upgrade my character or buy coin, so that it would be a little bit of a weird disconnect if like this number and this number doesn't make sense. Maybe it's not a big deal actually, but I don't know. Like there's something here that doesn't feel like 100% on point yet.
Yeah, I think we should add kind of a second score that's not related to kind of these bot HODIs. Because the first scenario is that we kind of interlink them, and then the leaderboard coin would just be kind of the amount of you totally earn in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
But then people could buy up. Oh, nice, yeah, on your water bottle. But then people could buy a place in the leaderboard by excluding kind of using these offers. So even though you need to fight for it once, when you kind of have unlocked a certain offer, then you can just kind of spam that and go up the leaderboard. The scenario 2 is that we kind of disconnect the offers from the leaderboard points. So the leaderboard points would be kind of earned points from fights only. But then we would have kind of the same currency, but we would only include where it comes from, which could kind of confuse people. So I think we should have a separate coin in here that's it should not be kind of seen in the upper left corner or something that you can buy with, but just some kind of icon that you see in the leaderboard. So after each fight, that we have like the time bonus and the health bonus and that kind of stuff. When you complete, I can go to show people what I mean. Yeah, exactly, this one. So whenever you get kind of a time bonus, so this would kind of we would have this exact screen, but maybe on the side here, or this would have a parenthesis or something like plus 1,000 or 100,000 or something, and then the leaderboard, a leaderboard coin, and this coin would only be seen in the leaderboard, because then we don't need to kind of separate the same currency, but places where it comes from. So we don't, and just have another currency that's only seen and visible in the leaderboard, because then people need to actually play the game in order to rank up in the leaderboard, actually be good, and they can't just exploit offers to get up the leaderboard, except kind of buying better weapons that be better, but they actually need to play this. And I don't think we should have the the click part of the game being any part of the leaderboard. So the leaderboard should just be fight. So then time bonus, so because then the people that would, with this kind of logic they just explained, but this would kind of allow people that play the fights, be good at fights, because time bonus and health bonus would also increase the leaderboard kind of points value. So the people that would be on the top of the leaderboard would be people that play the most fights, play the most difficult fights with the most difficult boss, and then completes it in the shortest amount of time and with the most health left. And so there's no kind of conflicting between people buying Cat Cartel coins and being on top of the leaderboard. So I think we should kind of create another currency for that, instead of just using as we talked about before, like total earned Cat Cartel, which could be a bit confusing since it's the same currency but they don't match up, since this one can be spent up in the left corner, but the coin in the leaderboard can't be spent. So kind of or do you have any ideas about that?
I think you're right. I think we need to separate them. Trim in the chat just said the leaderboard could be based on experience, which you'd gain while playing the game, which is kind of what you were just talking about, right? Yeah. It's like you kind of have your currency, right? Like these are our in-game currency, but then as you're playing the game, maybe there's an experience point or something like that. I think we need to do something like that. We just need to make sure that whatever we do, it doesn't seem confusing, right? So I can work on that to see how we can basically have whatever our experience points and then our Cat Cartel currency.
Yeah. But just to note on one thing, when I'm designing it, I noticed kind of the designs that you made currently for the kind of select cat, fight, scammer, all these screens in the kind of dashboard side of the game.
Sorry, you mean
kind of all these designs that are not kind of horizontal for the fights.
Yeah.
So kind of all these kind of dashboard. So all the height currently is kind of maxed. I kind of squinched things together a bit more than in the design here to kind of fit all of them in the on all mobile sizes when I'm designing the game. So if you're gonna squinch in experience in here, the best would be to either kind of not have it in this screen and just show it in the leaderboard tab, so we don't need to kind of show it on every single tab just to save height. And that's just kind of a design, kind of hint for, or kind of, tips for you, or not tip, but kind of.
No, I get it.
It would kind of help out me in the game design a bit. So.
Okay, cool. I'll work on that a little bit and just figuring out like where we can put them. I still think being able to visibly see your points somewhere. I mean, obviously it's going to be on the leaderboard, but
but also kind of some box in the leaderboard tab. So we could have like, you see that we have like daily and weekly, and then these kind of, or where are you currently? Where are you showing people?
Oh, sorry, I'm zoomed in on the character select.
Oh, okay. But here in the leaderboard, you could have kind of only this tab somewhere. I don't know. Maybe lower the leaderboard and these tabs a bit, and then just have kind of the score on top here, kind of your score or something.
Okay, cool. I'll work on that.
Or just switch this kind of icon to the experiences, because we don't need to show how much Cat Cartel coins they have in the leaderboard, since those kind of irrelevant. So we could just switch this to be the number of their experience, as Kushstream called it, and then just have another icon here.
Let me play with that, because the only thing about the UI is I like anchors that are in the header and the footer, right? Like you always know that these are up there, so you see your wallet, see your points, and then see the main nav. So I want to make sure that whatever. I'll kind of play with the Figma a little bit, and then we can circle back as we start to think about this point system.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm glad we talked about that, because this is the only thing that was kind of confusing me. So really quick, only because like we probably got another 15 more minutes in this live stream and in our meeting. If there's any questions that anyone in the live chat has about the game, kind of what we're building, like anything, drop your question in the chat, because we're going to go into, I don't know, a little QA rounds if there's going to be questions. So I just want to prompt everyone, if you do have a question for Leo or myself, drop it in the chat. We can kind of answer it to the best of our ability. So,
and by the way, just kind of to recycle one thing, or kind of come back. On the tap thing that we had, like this restoring daily limit.
Yeah.
When kind of restoring it, do you just want this kind of counter here up here to just kind of slowly regenerate, or should we have kind of a separate counter for like regeneration, or kind of how did you think of kind of showing that it kind of reloads? Should we just have that this kind of goes down when someone clicks and then slowly goes up when someone doesn't click?
I was actually thinking this one. So there's our like hourly clock, maybe, if we want to put that in. And then basically, like, let's just say I just exhausted the 10,000, right? And then I come back in a minute or so. This would basically say whatever our division is, 100.
Okay. So this would be the counter for how many coins they can currently kind of click through. And this up here would be like the max capacity for the day. And this counter would just be kind of, instead of being, every day when it resets, this would just be kind of how much time it's left until the current, coins in the regeneration count is at the maximum capacity.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's going to make the most sense. Cool. Anything else on your mind that you want to talk through in terms of the game?
It was mostly kind of just a shield attack for Airdrop Andy. I wouldn't talk about it that much, but did you want me to kind of include it for the first version, or just kind of... Currently, I haven't implemented yet. I have implemented all attacks and kind of all sound effects that that Syed has updated in the in ClickUp. So kind of everything is working and being in the game. Just that the shield attack I haven't implemented yet, since I was kind of unsure if we even wanted that for the first boss. Because I was surprised that it even plopped up in ClickUp. I was just like, what shit? What is this? It looked good, but I didn't think we would have that attack for the first boss.
Yeah, let's not use it. I think we have enough for the airdrop Andy level. I think that should be fine. So let's just leave that out for now, and then we can just continue working on the dashboard. Like, I think now that we have everything for like the punch to earn, like let's try to get that like that rocking, because I think that'll be a fun one since we have everything. And then we can basically go from there and continue to build out the rest of the dashboard.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna write this up on paper so I just have it stored for the week.
Actually, hey, before you do that, we got one question.
Yeah, I see.
So Angie says, how often can you try to fight a boss? For other mobile games, there are lives that you get over time or you can buy.
This is actually a good point. Have you played the game Injustice? Sometimes it's kind of like a DC fight.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I haven't played it.
Okay. But there you have kind of like energy, I think it's called. And then that kind of, you have like 10 for each character for a certain amount of time. Then it kind of regenerates. So currently in the game, Angeli share, we just have kind of, so you can play how many times you want. For just the kind of an infinite amount of time, how many times you want. But that's actually a good point. We could actually include something like energy, so you can only have a certain amount of attempts a certain time, because then we can kind of limit the amount of times a person plays their boss, because we don't want just people. If someone is bad, they can still earn HODI for just playing the same boss over and over, because they will earn a little bit just collecting the coins for airdrop, and the just even though they lose, they still get a little bit of points. Or is there? I don't know what you have set up, but it would be nice if we would have 5 or 3 attempts every hour, or 5 fights every hour.
So
because then people need to be more careful, with their attempts. Like, oh shit, I need to kind of focus up here.
All right. So basically,
either we would have 3 every hour or 10 every day or something.
Okay. Yeah. Let's figure out what that number is. That's actually really smart, right? So you're not just banging through it, but you actually have to come back. We could play with that, but I think there's something there that's really, really interesting. So, dude, great question.
And we have some other question from GRep. What software are you using to illustrate the UI concepts? So this is Figma. I think that's what it's asking, right? Figma, is that the correct answer?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I've used Figma for all of my UI, UX sort of design. So that's what we were sharing earlier. It's great. It's awesome. I'm a big fan of Figma.
Me too.
He's got another question. We'll just bang out these easy ones.
Yeah.
Which game engine is the game being developed in? We're currently building in Unity. Leo, you can speak a little bit more to that.
Yeah. So actually, this is I usually kind of working in more. Usually work on more kind of back-end side of stuff, kind of servers, databases, kind of also a bit of robotics on my spare time. So this is actually the first game that I'm developing. So I wanted to kind of go with an Eastern engine, so that we went with Unity. So kind of and we're using Unity, simple, and it's kind of fun for me as well, because as I said, this is kind of my first game, so we'll see if it turns out all right. I'm trying my best though. So
GRep is also from Sweden. Like you.
Oh,
he's one of the OGs on the team. He keeps changing his name around, so I hope that I'm talking about the right person. But yeah, you guys are both from Sweden. I think he's from the south of Sweden, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. But anyways. All right, we got a couple more questions before we wrap this party up. Or do we? Well, Trim's got another point.
Yeah, but that's the same as with kind of the energy point, with kind of how many, but he said kind of how many times you attack the boss. I guess this guy is a Clash of Clans fans, because, his formulation.
What did you say?
I think he's a Clash of Clans fans because of his formulation. Kind of, how many times can you attack the boss? That's kind of normal in Clash of Clans. Have you played it before? You know what it is, right?
I know what it is, yeah. I haven't played it, though.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's a really good point. I think the game should have a limit to how many times a boss is attacked per day or played per day. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. The way that we've been thinking about it, the one thing that we didn't really bring up, and I'll just bring up this screen again really quick, is so essentially, where are we? Each boss will have their own difficulty level. So as you play Airdrop Andy, you're basically playing him on level 1, right? So we have the dynamics so that his attacks are stronger, etc. as you level to 2 and 3. So ostensibly right now, with the 3 scammer bosses that will release in V1, Airdrop Andy, Rug Pull Rick, and then Pumping Up Paul, it'll essentially equate to about 9 boss levels because of the range of difficulty. And then we'll add, Honeypot Harry or whatever the hell else, we add in terms of new bosses as we release new versions. But I think you're right, being able to not just, have someone play on level 1 and just like grab points and points and points is super smart. All great questions. All these, by the way, are coming from, mostly HODI, the HODI community and holders, which is no surprise, right?
Yeah.
Heavily invested. And I appreciate all the great questions and ideas, because that's the fun part about building this game is we're trying to do it as openly as possible so that we can make it as awesome as possible. I think that's pretty much the last question. If you guys, watching the live stream enjoyed this, definitely, hit me up on X or in the Telegram group. Let me know. So, if Leo and I want to do this again and it's something that everyone's down for, I don't know. It's kind of cool as far as I'm concerned, but I'd love to know what everyone else thinks about it.
Yeah, and I will definitely invest in a better camera for next time, because I noticed now on kind of the juicy stream that this camera is like horseshit. This, I don't know what is this, because I'm using currently just an integrated camera, and when I see on kind of YouTube, I see yours kind of 4K like, and mine's like like a
it's all right, dude. we just decided this like last week, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get you set up. All right. Do you feel good in terms of like what we're doing moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of had, I had all the questions answered. And by the way, I know that the priority is kind of get the new illustration implemented for the. I was gonna write this up, or actually I just write this up afterwards. But
yeah,
the new illustrations for the click functionality, getting the kind of, even though I've kind of completed the upgrade screen, it's still not kind of like every weapon is not hooked up to a certain. What it's called, like damage, cost, and kind of, in the game manager for, when you're actually playing the game. So currently they're kind of just visible, and you can, kind of all the, you're strapped up, buy, all these buttons are also connected to kind of, are shown at the right place. But when you press like buy, you don't own it. So kind of, that functionality in the backend for kind of connecting just, the upgrade list to actually weapons that you're using is not done yet. By the way, how long do you think it is until Syed is done with all the like animations for HODI using different weapons?
You know what? I'll look. I need to add a bunch for him this week. So we'll see. I mean, but he's been banging through a lot of these things pretty fast. So
okay,
I'll add those to his priority list so we can get those animations in for the first level.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't really have anything more to kind of ask or discuss. I know kind of what
Sweet.
we're doing.
Awesome chat or live stream. Welcome to the making of the Cat Cartel game. I hope everyone enjoyed and have a great day. I'll see you all in the Telegram chat and X and everywhere else. Later, you guys.
Later.